It was good getting the goal at the beginning of the second half, so things were sort of going your way. I think you guys had a chance to make it 3-0 and sort of put that game away and put it to bed. Instead, DC comes back and scores, so you guys had to do a lot of work in that last remaining third of the game.
Yeah.
What needs to change there for you guys?
Yeah, I think because the first half played out in a way where there was so little space in the attacking half of the field, and we would be trying to build attacks, and if then they would end up with a ton of numbers behind the ball. There wasn't a ton of space to work and run, and things were kind of getting bogged down. At 2-0, I think they were starting to show themselves that they were going to come out and start to pressure a little bit more, and so that means that there's going to be more space behind them if we break the initial pressure. And at times I felt like we broke the initial pressure, and we're so focused on trying to go score the next goal. And some of the situations look promising, and some of them we just missed passes, and some of them. But I think at that point when a team is trying to change their intensity level, now compress you got to drive them back into their end of the field and make them come back low and defend low. And make them win balls deep in their half of the field, make their attacking guys who are pressing come low to find the ball, force them to have to defend deep, and then you can start to turn the pressure back on them in the counter pressure, which I thought we did in the first half. So I felt like we were between trying to force sort of that third goal and finish attacks and then just missing some passes in some of those sequences. I felt like we just kept giving them the ball to come back at us. And then it became a momentum game, right? As they bring Benteke on and they bring others, they obviously have the Owls, a very good player. They bring on some guys who have some quality, and obviously Benteke is a dangerous player. And I feel like we keep giving them momentum back when we had the chance maybe to just put them deep in their half and force them to have to really work to recover the ball. And I felt like we gave them momentum back, and we had to battle it out at the end, and at times suffer a little bit just because we didn't see it out the way we wanted to. But I felt like maybe the sense of actually having space to run started to really invite us, and the feel for the third goal was maybe too enticing at times when we needed to play more about just winning the game and sitting the game out at times.
Does that hurt you, the fact that if you go up 3-0 in that game, maybe you can make some subs and do some stuff when you have a short rest week, that type of thing, and instead you guys ended up having to battle through the 100th minute. So was there wasted energy out there because of that?
I prefer us get the third and see it out and get some guys out to do it. I think we kind of stuck more or less with what we anticipated our sub pattern to be, maybe a few minutes more here or there, but for the most part, I think we stuck with our thought process for how we wanted to go about the week. But certainly just in terms of the broader effort, the amount of defending and transition work that we had to do through the last third of the game was definitely more than I would have liked us to do. I would like us at home be able to establish possession, control of the game. If they're going to come stepping out, I would like to see us break through the pressure cleaner and be a little bit smoother. But I felt like different circumstances in the game also led to us being not quite so. I thought Marco kind of got beat up a little bit through the course of the game, and I thought Nasi wasn't as effective in linking up as he had been in a few other games. So when we were breaking lines, it wasn't quite as clean on the other side, and I feel like that's a piece of it inside of all of it. So I thought, again, Marco was always fantastic. I just felt like he was just getting beaten up around the field a little bit tonight.
I agree. The game did seem a bit physical, maybe more than a normal Saturday night game, you think? Or?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you have in the first half, the spaces are quite tight because they're dropping pretty low, and we're trying to figure out how to break through the lines, and so the bodies are a lot closer together in those instances where things can get a little bit physical. Look, you have a team that just lost their coach and isn't in a great spot, and so at some point they're going to respond to that. If they feel like they're still in the game or there's something for them, there's something inside of that that's probably going to happen. So it got physical. I think maybe to neutralize players, they looked at some guys specifically in terms of getting physical. Joe took a lot of fouls over the course of the game. I thought Marco. So different ways for the opposition to choose to try to manage the game or manage people inside of the game. But there certainly was some physicality inside of it. But that's okay. I mean, for us, it's about being more efficient with the ball at times and putting them away when we have the opportunities to do so.
And then it's your second consecutive win. I think you guys were at least a point in 4 of the last 5. Where would you say the confidence is in this group right now?
Yeah, good. I think the spirits are high. I think, as I've said to you, we, for a little while now, since coming off the Eastern Coast, the East Conference road swing, by and large, if you just look at the performances, we've been somewhat pleased with a lot of our performances, disappointed with the way we've given away results in certain situations or points. So our emotion, sometimes is off of the results we're not getting, but our thought process on where we are as a team in terms of performances, we think have been fairly progressively getting better over the stretch. So I think guys are confident. I think what's important is, again, I said to the guys, I'm not sure we win this game earlier in the season. I think, there's a possibility we give away the second goal because of just, we didn't see these types of games out. We didn't have many leads at the beginning of the year, to be honest, but I think we held steady. We did what we needed to do. We took the 3 points and we move on into the next one. So I thought that we had a good sort of resiliency there at the end. So yeah, I think the confidence is high. Guys are ready to move on to the next one and try to keep momentum moving in our favor.
Hey Greg, congratulations on the win. Can you talk to us about Diego and how you're using him recently? Earlier in the season, we saw him play primarily on the wings, and now we're seeing him a little bit more in the midfield, as well as coming back, drop back a little bit, and receive the ball and kind of link up play. Can you talk to us about what the method behind that madness is? Thank you.
Diego's he's versatile in terms of how we can use him. He has been. He can play on the wing, everywhere else. But inside of the midfield, there's times when we want him to come lower and to be almost like a second pivot with Edwin and really work together with him. There's times in this game where we pushed him up into the higher, which is where he scored the goal. We actually pushed him into the higher gap and brought our fullbacks a little more inside. So because of his versatility and because of his kind of understanding of how we want to play, I feel like it's helped the midfield just to be, at times, a little more fluid. Whereas I think Luka's still learning midfield, but you see the second Lucas comes on, his combative spirit just brings it something different to the field as well. So it's between the two of them. I think both of them do a great job. They're just different players at this moment in time, and the team has been rolling pretty good with Diego sitting in that position and working together with Edwin at times. And so it's been flowing. So we've been sticking with it because it's been working.
You've had an unchanged back four for the past 2 games. Can you talk to us about how they're settling into each other, and then potentially what you saw on the goal that was conceded? Thank you.
So first, I think the group is in the back is settled in over the last couple games. I think Amiro's done quite well in sliding over to the left in the last 3 games. Have been I think his performances have been solid. He's looked similarly comfortable on the left as he has on the right in terms of in possession. And I think when we put Maya, or in the 3 games ago, Zonka was on the right, they're more comfortable on the right, and they can add a little bit more in terms of in possession stuff and in terms of the selection of passes when they're on their right foot versus their left. Amiro's always going to choose pretty simple things in general, and so we've I think found a pretty good rhythm in terms of those guys getting comfortable and everybody as a line getting a little more comfortable. There's inside of that, there's things that I always want to keep pushing with our line to be a little more proactive in our movement and things like that. But as a group, I feel like they're pretty connected at the moment.
Hi Greg, congrats on the win. More of a crowd this time around to enjoy it than there was on the recent holiday, but still some silence in the stands with the supporter group still in an active boycott. Do the guys notice that? And what is your message to fans who want to support the team, but might be feeling punished for also wanting to advocate for their communities?
Yeah, again, I recognize that there are fewer people in the end for sure. We recognize that the volume in the stadium is different for sure. I think the players understand when they step on their task is to try to win the game and to solve the problems of the game and to find the solutions inside of the field and score goals and do the things that they're supposed to do, entertain the people, the fans that are here. As I've said before, fans, I believe, have the right to take the positions that they want to take, and our job is to go out and try to win games. And so that's what we want to keep doing. We have another home game coming up in a few days. It's going to be important for us to recover. We want to go put on the best performance we can and hopefully get 3 points. And we want the fans to come, and we want them to feel safe, and we want them to feel like this is their club and the place they want to be. And we're trying to do our job on the field to try to help that to take place.
Yeah, hey Greg, great one. Been watching you for the last probably 10 years. One of the more methodical, smart coaches I've seen, and
You gotta pay them to come past.
Nah. Yeah, different than most of the coaches I've seen in MLS. What are you doing to these guys to keep them going? Because you seem like you have a decent demeanor and decent character to kind of push the team. Like, what are you doing to keep these guys going?
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. I think there's a couple things for me that's important. One is connecting with my players on an individual level, understanding that every player who plays the game, they want to win. They want to improve as a player. They want to enjoy what they're doing, and they want to feel like somebody cares about them in the process. This game and the business can be the opposite, and so I think, for me, I try to develop rapport with our guys so that I know what motivates each one of these guys, and what they care about, and to know that I care about them, and I want what's best for them, and I want them to be successful individually and collectively. And inside of that, I try to put forward a methodology, if you will, that they enjoy training, that they enjoy the way we want to play. We emphasize using the ball, which I think a lot of players, especially the types of players that we get, appreciate, and try to help them find solutions and ideas and ways to think about the game maybe that are a little bit different, or maybe not, that they're used to. And the guys that I've worked with over the years have really just enjoyed the way we play and trying to be methodical with the ball and use it and break other teams down. And so I think guys, in general, I think guys enjoy that, because I think that's what a lot of the players that we get, that's what they see is the beauty of the game in certain ways. And so between the connections, the way we want to play, how we run our training sessions to try to bring the right kind of enjoyment while we try to hold a standard, all those things fit inside of that. So I appreciate it. I've learned a lot from the players that I've had over the last 10 years too, from the guys in Toronto to the guys here. It's a collaboration. I'm not a dictator out there. I'm a collaborator, and I work with the guys. I know what I want it to look like, but I also want to take into consideration each of their qualities and what they bring to the table.
And one last final question on Zoom. Sophie, go ahead.
I'll get you for it.
Hey Greg, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
The team's definitely hit rock bottom this season, and it feels like in the last couple of games you guys are coming out with some football rehab. What do you think is the most important step that you've seen where you see the team kind of getting to this space of improvement?
Yeah, I think a couple things with this. One is inside of the way we play, it's really important for us to win the midfield. And I'm saying that with the ball, without the ball, it's really just important for us to win the midfield. And the stretch where we had 2 games over the course of 4 weeks, we spent a lot of time and energy working on our midfield play and the connection of the guys in the midfield. And it's no secret that's where we lost some of the guys from last year, and that's where some of our newer players are coming into this year. And so we spent just a lot of time trying to really emphasize those connections and relationships and the things that we find that are important inside of what we want to do. That's one. And the second is defensively, we had to eliminate the way we were giving up goals. We were, like I said, we were undermining what might have been decent performances at times with just goals that we can't give up if we want to win games. And so solidifying those 2 things, obviously finishing off some chances that we've been getting, which I think has been coming, but getting Joe, Gabe, Marco, Nasi, those guys kind of connected and flowing up there so that we can put things away. But there's pieces that I feel like have been coming together, but our focus has been a lot on some of the defensive stuff in the back and some of the midfield play that we think is so important to our style of play and the things that we want to do.
All right. You want to ask that question? Yeah.
We had one more.
Last question before Diego comes.
Yeah, Greg, you had a bunch of stars over the last few years, and then now you have a bunch of stars. You got Joseph, you got Marco, you got Peck, and all these guys. These guys, from what I was watching today, they're just really, they look hungry. Have you really spoken to them about what they're doing in the attack? Because they just look loose and they look free?
Yeah, I think for me, from a lot of those guys, Marco, I think right now, just for the last 7-8 weeks, just feels good physically for probably one of the first times since he's gotten here where he just feels like he feels good. And now when he feels good, he just plays the game and you see his quality come out. You know, for Joe and for Gabe and Nas, Diego, these guys, just trying to get everybody in a rhythm and feel, you know, inside of what we want to do, to find the right sort of freedom to express themselves, to use each other, play off of each other, to build speed, to trust one another in the final actions, things like that, and just try to build confidence in each of them to go for it when they're out there, and to be mindful of what things that we want to do and what their functions are inside of the team, but also for them to express themselves and to trust each other and play for each other while they're out on the field.
And one final question from Scott French.
Scott.
And this came up in the DC press conference, if you want to call it that. It was like 2 people in a very small room. You go up to nothing, and they make their subs. And he said one of the things that they found was a lot of space, and that 2-0 up, I think you don't want to be giving up so much space. What happened?
Yeah, I think, and I said this earlier, Scott, if you would have come earlier and started.
I actually asked Josh if you talked about space.
Kind of, I wasn't so specific. I'm just teasing. No, I think what started to happen at 2-0, and maybe just a fraction of time before that, is they started to release their press on us, so just a little bit earlier. And we get to 2-0, and they're still coming in the press. And the moments that we break the press and we're just attacking fast, and we're just trying to score the 3rd goal. The vast majority of the attacks broke down pretty quickly inside of 3 passes or so. Well, when our guys at the front are sprinting forward to go take it, and the back guys are trying to keep up, and then we turn over the ball, then space exists in between the lines. And that was happening over and over, in my view. And what we needed to do was, as we drove into that half of the field, we needed at times to spin out, be responsible, bring our group together, force them to defend lower and in their half the field to these attacking guys and pressing guys to come down to help them have to recover. Then I think we can keep the game tight. We can keep the game in the attacking half the field. They don't get as much space. They don't build momentum because we keep giving it back to them. So I think they were finding space because of our decisions once we were breaking pressure in some of these situations.
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you. And we'll now be joined by LA Galaxy midfielder Diego Fagundes, who scored his 76th career goal. 77, 76.
He's like, come on.
Just keeping you on your toes.
Don't steal me a goal.
We're going through the record.
We'll have Josh right now.
Diego, I want you to know we went over this before you got here, so we could ask. But 77 goals, 76 assists. You're closing in on that 80-80. I'm sure you can tell us about how you guys started and going up 2-0 and how that really probably helped you guys. But individually for you right now, are things starting to click a little bit more for the team for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think the game against Vancouver definitely set a type of play style that we have, and I think everybody's been shown. I think our mistakes are showing a lot less, which is helping us a lot. But at the end of the day, I think the work rate that everybody's putting in, all 11 players, is showing, and that's the difference maker. Last game I told Gabi, I think this is your best game, and not because you're attacked, but more because of the defensive work. When you do that kind of work, you're going to get attacking, and you're going to get those chances, and we know how good he is that way. So when you have players like that can help the team defense, then there's no way that we shouldn't be winning games. And today, again, everybody's been putting the shift. At the second half, I think we struggled a little bit, but at the end of the day, we were able to get 3 points at home, which is huge, and that's an important thing.
Talk a little bit about the struggle. You guys had a chance to go up 3-0. Gabe had a pretty good look at one there. Then it comes back and makes it 2-1. In a short week where you guys have Austin coming on Wednesday, it seems like that would hurt you a little bit, that you guys had to grind it out the way that you did.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes a good team great. When you have those things happen, do we want to go up 2-1? Of course not. When you get scored on, it's one of those things that get momentum. I think 2-0 is the most dangerous score in soccer. So after they scored the first, everybody locked in and said, hey, we're going to grind it. We're going to do whatever it takes. If we have to do this for 15, 16 more minutes, we're going to do it. And everybody did that, and it was so amazing. Everybody's so happy, and I think, like Coach said, we play let's get what we deserve. And I think today we showed that we deserve to win this game. Like you said, I think we need to finish those chances, so then it makes it a lot easier on us to finish out games. And that's a learning process for all of us. And I think our legs were giving up a little bit at the end, but everybody was able to grind through, and that was important.
Hey, Diego, over here. Hey. One thing I asked Greg about is the club's confidence in this stretch. Like you guys are maybe 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6 getting points in games. Where do you think the confidence is now compared to maybe early June, late May?
No, I think it's kind of one of those things that we want to forget about what happened before. Now we need to focus on what's happening now. I don't think we were a bad team before, but I think if you look at the mistakes that we were making, I think that's what we were punishing ourselves. And now we're not making those mistakes. We're actually allowing other teams to make those mistakes. We're actually finishing our chances when we have to. Do we have to be better at that? Of course. And we always have to be mindful of mistakes that we make. But right now, everything's clicking and everybody's putting in the shift. And when everybody puts in the shift and everybody gives their 110%, we can win games. And I think everybody's been doing that lately. And the confidence, of course, is going to grow throughout the group, and that's what we want to see. We have a quick turnaround, and everybody needs to be ready. And like we told everybody, if we play this good, we can beat any team. It doesn't matter who's stepping on the field. At the end of the day, we just have to show up and play and work our asses off.
And what does 80-80 mean to you? As you get closer to the milestone, what do you think that number, that accomplishment will mean to you?
To be honest, it doesn't mean much. It's just another number that I get closer to. At the end of the day, I just want to be one of those players that will be recognized as what I've accomplished. And maybe it doesn't show as much when your numbers are not showing every game, you know. But the work rate and everything that I give, that's what matters to me. And winning games. At the end of the day, winning games is what people remember, not the achievements that personally you have. It's always nice to have those things, and that's why I have it in the back of my book. And I just keep those to myself. But like I said, if I can end the year with 80-80, I'll be happy. And if I don't, then there's another year, and I just have to keep working harder and get there. But right now, we want to win games and make it as far as we can in this league, and maybe hopefully talk about playoffs sometime.
Hey, Diego, got two for you. First off, how did it change when DC brought on the subs and bringing on Benteke is, you know, they give that you've got to pay attention to him, but they just seem to take command of the game a little bit right there.
Looked, I think today our defensive work, our defense, I think we stopped them pretty good, and that was important. We knew it was going to be a harder game when he walked in. But like I said, I think today he didn't really have clear chances besides that maybe that one shot outside the box that's the only one that I remember was clear. But everything else, we just had to stick to our game plan, and our game plan was working. But I think in the second half we just need to keep more of the ball, feel more comfortable, play on their side, and not give them so many balls back. Because at some point our legs were a little bit shocked, and I think those tired legs were making mistakes, myself and everybody else. So we just need to be better at that, especially when the games are coming up fast. When it's Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, we need to make sure that we're not making those things.
Yeah, and you guys did do a nice job of absorbing it. But did they change the game on you guys? And what were the things
at that point?
Pardon?
Was it 2-0 at that point?
It was 2-0 when they brought on the subs right after the second goal.
Well, I think at that point, we knew that they were just going to throw everything in. They had nothing to lose. I think when you're going down 2-0, you just want to throw everything in on the field and hope for the best. And I think that's what they did. To be honest, I think they moved the ball pretty well, but I don't think they had clear chances. So defensively, I think we did a really good job, and we were able to get to the ball, pressure, and move it. But like I said, I think we need to be better at keeping the ball, making sure that we're attacking more and keeping the ball and feel more comfortable with it.
And this team has looked better. They've looked more like the Galaxy since the midfield has been Edwin, you, and Marco. What's the difference there? We've got veterans who can play with the ball.
I don't know if there is a difference. I think right now the confidence is high, and it's a key part. I think the difference right now that we have in this team is the work rate that everybody's putting in. Everybody's putting in that shift, and if we keep doing that, we can win every game. But I think last game, even when the subs came in, they made a difference, and that's a huge part. Today, same thing. Subs came in, and the tempo stayed high, and I think that's a huge part in the team.
Diego, congratulations on your goal. Please tell your dogs I said hi. Greg's been using you in kind of a new tactical way. You've been in the midfield, but you've been dropping deep to receive the ball a lot. Talk to me about what that tactical switch has been like, and you know, how have you enjoyed that? Have you enjoyed linking up the play a little bit more? Does it let you see more of the ball? Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that position is actually a lot of fun because you get to touch the ball quite a bit. You get to make plays happen, and when you have an amazing player in front of you like Marco that can make plays up front, it's a lot easier. But for us, I just need to do my job wherever they put me. I just do my best and learn that position as best as I can. I think we all know how to play football, and at the end of the day, if you can do that, then you can play in any position. But then when you have Eddie next to you and he puts in the same work rate and the shift with you, it's a lot easier. And Lucas in there, if you put Lucas in there, he's a machine and an animal.
Hey Diego, I asked you on Soccer in 60 this week, sort of gave you my theory of if you get 10 points before Leagues Cup, there might be a path to the playoffs. You at least didn't say I was crazy at the time, so I just wanted to follow up, and you mentioned playoffs a second ago. How do you feel about that theory now based on this win and on the way that you guys earned this win?
Look, do we believe that we can make it? Of course. If we didn't believe it, then we shouldn't be here. But we just have to take it game by game. We have a lot of home games coming up, and that's, I think, a huge part. We have an important game now again Wednesday, and if we get points out of that, then who knows? But like you said, I think in the next two games we play Austin and then LA. So you do those two things and you take care of business and you get the points that you deserve, then you never know, you could be talking about it. And I think tomorrow there's another game that's happening, and if the game goes the right way, then you're tied up with points and things are going the right way. And like I told you, I think right now is the best time to get momentum, and when we have all these home games, you have to take advantage of that.
Hi Diego, we've had the pleasure of seeing you excel a little bit more in that deeper role. Can you tell us about what those conversations were like? When did that decision happen to make that switch? And what were the practices like for you to learn that position?
I played that position before in Austin, so it kind of it was something that I've already kind of learned a little bit, but the way that we were playing here is a little different, and when you have a Ricky last year that would come pick up the ball and do his stuff like always, it was easy. This year I think we wanted to try to get two guys in there that can move the ball, and with, like I said, with Eddie, it makes things easy. And once you know soccer and football and you can move the ball, you can play any position. But right now I feel really comfortable. I'm putting in the shift. Defensively, I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and with the guys behind me giving me commands and stuff to do, it makes it easy. And I just have to keep doing my job. At the end of the day, I want to win, so I'm going to do whatever it takes, and wherever I'm put on, I'm going to give 110 and do my job.
Thank you.
Yeah, Diego. Yeah, I've been watching you since your debut in 2011 in New England, and then I saw you get a little bit more when you were in Austin, and now you're here. Your style, I know you talked about the goals and like how you're not doing crazy 30 goals in a season and stuff like that, but I think your style of play is really what drives a lot of the teams you've been on. What's allowed you to keep playing like that, even though you don't feel like you're getting crazy numbers, because you do a lot for the team as far as attacking? What's allowed you to keep doing that?
I just want to win games. I once said to myself, if you want to be a good player, you don't always have to be scoring goals. You can put in the work rate, you can put in the shift, and that's what I tried to do every game, no matter what it took. Like I said, I'm not one of those players that gives 10 goals, 10 assists every year, but if I can do that, that'd be amazing. But if we're winning games, then it is what it is. If I'm off the bench, I'll give whatever it takes to the team to make sure that we win games. If we have to cover for other players, then we do that. But like I said, I think the older I'm getting, maybe I'm dropping a little bit more and more, but I'm enjoying it a lot. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun out there with the guys, and when you're winning, confidence is high, and you can play a little bit better.
Yeah, as you're getting older, and I was the same age when you were coming up, you don't seem like you've changed that much. So like you still feel like it seems like you're moving and feeling the same. You still feel like you got that spirit in you and that drive.
No, of course. I think I can't compare myself to like Gabriel Peck or Joseph, who are a lot younger than. But I remember when I was playing in New England, I was young, I was fast. And I know people were probably surprised I was fast before, but you know, the age kind of takes a toll on you, and you have to learn how to play faster in your head. And I think that's something that never went away. If you can play with your head in soccer, you can do anything happen. I always tell people, if you look at Marco, sometimes you look at him, he plays in slow motion, but that guy makes plays happen. And it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how slow you are. If you're fast in your head and you can make plays, then you're still here. And the day I can't run and the day I can't do those things, then I'll hang up my shoes. But I think there's still 5 or 6 more years.
All right, and thank you. And let it be known that Diego is in a race with Luciano Acosta to join the Liga Club. He'd be the 4th player in MLS history to do so. Joining Landon Donovan, Jaime Moreno, and Diego Larry. Good old Diego. And now we'll be joined by LA Galaxy defender Julian Alde. This is going to be Julian's one of his first English interviews. So let's work with him, and he'll answer a couple in English and then answer the rest in Spanish. So let's maybe start with Diego Fagundes in front here.
Hola Julián, buen partido hoy. Te quería preguntar, ¿quién te dijo que tenías que cortarte el pelo así?
Can we get translation on that, please?
For those who don't understand, he asked who convinced him to get that haircut. You want to answer that question? The haircut?
His girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend, yeah, girlfriend. All right, now, a serious question from Josh Gusman.
I don't know how serious it is. Julian, you know, we've seen you come a lot off the bench this year, but you've been getting starts lately. What has that done for your confidence, you know, this year, and what has that done for the team when you're out there?
Nada, intento hablar in Spanish. I understand English. I put in nervous. Intenté toda esta parte del año cuando no me estaba tocando jugar, seguir concentrado, seguir trabajando para mí, que sabía que en alguna parte del año iba a tener la oportunidad e intentar aprovecharlo. Disfruto cada partido, intento tomármelo al 100%, intento divertirme obviamente con profesionalismo, pero disfruto cada partido.
And then just in terms of the team's confidence, you guys have won 3 games in a row now at home, 2 in a row, just back to back. You have another home game coming up on Wednesday. Do you feel like this team can start moving upward in the standings?
Sí, obvio, tenemos que seguir aprovechando estos partidos en casa. Estos 6 puntos yo creo que nos ayuda un montón para seguir compitiendo. Obviamente todavía no estamos en el lugar donde queremos estar, pero tenemos que seguir de la manera que estamos jugando, como hoy el último partido en casa. Nos queda ahora el miércoles otro casa, después el clásico, y creo que tenemos que seguir compitiendo de esta manera, que todavía podemos seguir soñando con la clasificación a playoff y seguir trabajando.
Julián, felicidades. Justo te iba a preguntar sobre eso. Al terminar de estas 3 partidos aquí en casa y después uno más contra tu rival aquí en Los Ángeles, podrían recibir los 12 puntos y podrían tener un poquito de impulso. ¿Están comenzando a pensar y creer en los playoffs ahorita en este momento?
No, yo creo que primero lo que estamos intentando hacer es seguir compitiendo, sacar la mayor cantidad de puntos posible en estos partidos, y creo que si llegamos a lograr eso, después vamos a empezar a mirar para adelante, vamos a tener esa oportunidad estamos de vuelta, estamos cerca de lograrlo, y nada, seguir con la competición y sacar la mayor cantidad de puntos.
Has recibido 3 titularidades en lo largo, al mismo tiempo que estás vinculado con varios clubes allá en Argentina. ¿Cómo te sientes ahorita recibiendo ese tiempo de juego y te hace pensar más o menos en tu situación, en que te podrías quedar o que te quisieras quedar? Muchas gracias.
No, lo único que vi fue cosas de redes sociales, que yo creo que se hablan solamente en las redes sociales. Yo obviamente soy jugador del Galaxy, intento enfocarme en el día a día. Empecé a tener partidos de titular otra vez, entonces cosas que veía en las redes sociales intenté que no me afecten y enfocarme en lo importante que era que volvía a tener continuidad en la titularidad y aprovecharlo al máximo.
Muchas gracias.
Felicidades, Julián, otra victoria. Ya tocaste un poco el tema, pero ¿has disfrutado ser más protagonista en esos partidos recientes? Has entrado de muy buena forma después de no participar tanto al inicio del año. ¿Cómo haces para mantener esa mentalidad y estar listo cuando se te obliga? ¿Y cómo sientes que has crecido como jugador este año?
No, como dije recién, yo creo que intento disfrutar cada partido que me toca disputar porque he vivido el no jugar y el no jugar no es algo lindo para el jugador, entonces cada partido que me toca intento disfrutarlo al 100, intento jugarlo al 100, dar todo de mí para ayudar al equipo en la parte donde se pueda, también divertirse porque es la parte de mi fútbol, intentar hacer mis jugadas y seguir para adelante.
All right, Julian, we're going to try to do one question in English with Scott.
And we'll see how it goes. Last year you dealt with some injuries, kind of put you out. John Nelson kind of stepped in and kind of took over that role. As the season began, John was still kind of the number one on the left. And we've seen you, as Josh referred to, come on and get a lot more playing time lately. What I'm wondering is, in what ways did you find that you needed to broaden your game? And how did you do so? How did you become more than what you were?
No, yo creo que
In English?
No, I don't mind the Spanish because it's...
You'll translate on your own.
No,
I can't translate Argentinian Spanish, Scott.
Well, I'm sure that... It's all Spanish. I'm sure you can, because his other answers were in Argentinian Spanish as well.
Can you try in English, just maybe Josh's first question in English? Where it was... Try it.
Yeah. I turned the microphone off, now it's back on. You haven't been playing a lot, you've been coming off the bench. You are playing more now. What has that done for your confidence? You got this.
Tú puedes.
No, the confidence is every day. Is playing or not playing. If I play, I need to show my confidence. When I didn't play, that's the work in the player, I think. Because if I don't play, you can give up. But I try to be with my confidence every day. Try to work every day for the team. And now I enjoy playing for that. I try to show my confidence in every play, with my things, with my dribbles. But I think it's that.
Perfect. That's great. Let's simplify your question.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. You needed to. How did you broaden your game? How did you
Broaden is no. Let's fix that.
Yeah. Well, no. To make it more. To become a better player, to become a more complete player. What were the things that you needed to do, and how did you go about that?
No, my thing now to grow is to be complete in defense, in attack. I try to be more strong in defense now. And I know that in offense I can do what I want, but now I'm more focused in my defense. I try to work more in that. In offense, I do that I like.
Are you happy with the way that you were defending now? You think you have become?
Yeah, I feel my happy when I can do in defense.
Great. Well, that was awesome. Round of applause. Walk off. Press conference one more there. With that concludes our press conference. We will have a match on Wednesday against Boston FC. Julian, thank you.